Here's a scene created using SVGs from Illustrator. Coming up is the process to repeat this same creation using Illustrator's effects 3D materials. This is going to be an alternative to using SVGs, and if you want to know more about using SVGs, check out the videos and link that covers the differences between using Illustrator's 3D objects and SVGs within your favorite 3D application. Also, the full build out of these headphones using SVGs, and you could do a cross comparison. So that's what this video is about. Just using Illustrator to make the models and then try out for yourself the SVG video to see how you feel with the process and your end output. Jumping to Illustrator, select an object. Here's the cushion, and here's the speaker cover, side of the speaker, and the components that goes around it. I'm going to start with this one. Go under Effect and select 3D and Materials. Select Extrude and Bevel. And instantly you have this extruded object. To make it less thick, just decrease the thickness right here. If you want a little bevel on it, turn on Bevel. Zooming in. And you can play with the bevel shapes around here. Pick something that you're happy with. One object done, and it's as easy as just clicking a button and picking the thickness. Click an object, click that button, thickness. So compared to the SVGs, this is going to go by real quick. If you see the other video though, it'll show what the real difference is. And the real difference is control. If you're looking for quick objects like this, excellent method. If you're looking to, work with the objects in your 3D application, then this method might have some limits. Doesn't mean that you can't do it. It just means it might be a little more difficult. This is looking pretty awesome. And if this was just an illustration, I bet your imagination's going many different places where you could take this illustration. But for us, our final destination is a 3D application. There's our objects. Cool, right? Well, let's get them into 3D. I'm going to select my object and scroll on down to Export 3D Object. Now here's the one that I selected. You can do multiple selections. Holding down the Shift key, there's the band, there's all these pieces. And let's see what happens when we get it all exported together. Uncheck SVG, because that's not what this video is about. This video is about using these extruded objects from Illustrator directly in your 3D application, whether it's Maya, Blender, or somewhere else. Click on Export. See, I have two bands there. Let me cancel that for a second. Let me deselect that one. There we go. So I just want this, this, and this. And of course, the cushion. Export. That's all it takes here. Let's jump to your 3D application. If you're using Blender, you can follow along with Blender. Make a new scene. Don't save. Close this window. File, import. Locate your files and just import them one at a time. There's the first piece. And just continue. File, import until everything's in your scene. If you left something out, that's okay. Go back and re-export it from Illustrator. File, import. There's the cushion. And file, import. There we go. Let's take a look at these objects and see if there's anything we could do differently. Well, here's this part. This part. Maybe here, I'll just scale these together. Something like this. Taking this cushion and just moving it here. Taking this. One thing I notice, if I jump back to the Illustrator file, you're starting out with better scale of your object. So this is bigger than this. Then you'll get better results back in Maya. So try to line everything up perfectly in your plan view. That's the reason we're planning things out, so everything will just match together. All right. That's not so bad, right? I'll inset that a little bit like this. And I don't think I need this, and I don't think I need this. I think that's redundant right now, so I'm just selecting and deleting. Gonna move these two over together by selecting both of them. You could do a marquee selection if you want. Just drag them over. Let them rest in the back right here. Maybe I want to move this little box here. If you don't like where the pivot point is for something, select the object and go up here and just click that to reset the pivot. I'll do it for both of these. While I'm here, let's assign new material. And whatever material you're in the mood for. If you want something fancy, go to AI standard surface. Whatever you want to do with it. Right now, I just want to assemble the object. I'm going to select these parts and I'll push them back a little bit. Before I rotate, because if I rotate just like this, let's see what happens. Oh, everything falls apart. Don't you hate it when that happens? Undo. You double click here, the tool, and then select Manip or rotate around the manipulator or move around the manipulator. Look what happens when you rotate them. Hold down the J key to constrain the angle rotation. There's a good 90-degree rotation. Let me move this into position. Down here. If you really want to move things the right way, spacebar again. Do it from a side viewport. Makes life a lot easier. Now, of course, from the side viewport, we can't see how close this is to the edge. So back to the perspective viewport. Let me go to perspective full. And rotate around. Do a nice marquee selection, just making sure I get what I need. And if you get a little extra, just shift click to deselect it, or sometimes it's a little easier to select from out here. Right, so this one, hold down the shift key, those two should be it. And do I need the cushion on the inside? I do, so I could just shift click on that. Drag all that over and a little further down. Be like this. I'll duplicate it, hold down the shift key and drag it over to rotate it 180 degrees without using any menus. Watch the angle to make sure you hit either negative 270 or going the other way, it might be 90 degrees like that. Just drag it over and you're done, right? Oh, wait. Silly me. These go on the side. Right? You want to listen to the music, not to make everyone listen to your music and you hear silence. So there you go. Now compare this technique with the SVG one, and you'll see like the difference would be SVG one's going to take a little longer than this. However, the SVG method, we're using SVGs to define the objects, will give you a little more accuracy when you're in here, a little more control while you're in here. So you have to make a decision. Is this something quick you just need to get done? And the number of polygons, which are up here, we're up to 200,000 polygons. Well, maybe that doesn't matter because this is just going into a pure render for Cinema 4D somewhere else. Low dense models don't matter in that case. If the density of your model, if you need to be more flexible, more in control in your 3D application, then SVGs is definitely the way to go. And of course, you can use a mixture of things because maybe the SVG isn't giving you exactly what you want. So you can work in Illustrator, get the object that you want, and come back out here, bring in that object, and mix it with some SVGs and have this wonderful scene going. Hope you enjoyed this video, and please do watch the other video on creating this using SVGs. And as an artist, you'll have two different workflows that give you a method to plan out your objects here and then to create them in 3D as an illustration here, or to take the lines and make them into 3D objects in Blender, Maya, wherever else. Thanks for watching.